Yes, guys, everything bite-sized here, back with another true crime reaction video. Shout out JCS Criminal Psychology for the video. Thanks very much. Let's get it cracking. But just to start, I love this guy. Yeah, I'm not condoning any crime he may have committed or may not have committed. I'm not sure whether he did commit this crime or not. It's hard to tell. It seems like the detectives may have genuinely made a mistake, but it also seems like he might just be good at getting around the system and dealing with police because he's got a lot of experience going in and out of jail. But he seems like a cool guy. He's just in the thralls of a serious heroin addiction. I'm a recovering heroin addict, so I can relate. And he's starting to withdraw while he's in the interrogation room. And I tell you what, I've never been through withdrawals while I'm in custody. But I'll tell you what, it would be like really horrible. And he ends up like, even though he's really shitty with the, I just swore, so I'm gonna have to edit that out. Even though he's really funny with the cops, so to speak, he really appreciates it when he gets given a can of Coke. Because I'll tell you what, if you're withdrawing from opiates, anything is going to help. Anything that's going to help the tiniest bit, sugar, caffeine, whatever, nicotine, you're going to like, it's a godsend, even just a little tiny thing, even though it barely makes a dent in it. So yeah, there's an interesting interaction between the detective and Jeff. It's really interesting because they're adversaries, but at the same time they form some sort of weird bond. It's really, really cool to watch.
Am I under arrest?
For now.
I'm under arrest?
Yeah.
I mean, I know you can be detained without being arrested, but you're in handcuffs, bro. You got a paper suit on, and you're sitting in an interrogation room with two detectives. I'm pretty sure you're under arrest, mate.
I'll explain everything, but before I explain myself to you, before we talk to each other, I need to read your rights, okay?
What am I under arrest for?
Well, like I said, I need to read your rights for.
He could probably recite the rights back to the police officer better than the police officer could.
Obviously, the charge is robbery, okay? Yeah, I'll explain everything.
I'm under arrest for robbery?
You are, but let me read your rights real quick, okay? And then I'll explain it all to you. Is that okay? You let me do that real fast?
You can tell he's just like flipping out. I've heard my rights like 10 million times. Just get on with it.
Yeah. Can you read with me? Just read in your head, okay? Before we ask you questions, you must understand that what your rights are. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can will be used against you in the court of law. Does that make sense? You've probably heard these before, haven't you? Does that make sense? You understand your rights?
Oh.
Do you understand your rights, Jeff? Yes or no? Do you understand? Do you understand what I read you? Do you understand what I read you?
Oh, I love it. He just stressed the detective out to the point where the detective did an anchor point movement and moved his buttocks and his legs on his chair. Like he's already stressing the detective out.
Jeff, I'm just here to talk to you and figure out what happened and move you on out of here, at least some of them. So do you understand the rights I read to you?
If you got something that says you didn't do this robbery, this is your chance to talk to us.
Hey, good job.
Usually I'm the prick.
You look like a prick.
This is Jeff.
Yes,
Jeff is a
Jeff.
heroin addict and has been for the last 14 years. He is 6'5", weighs 153 pounds, and has now found himself in the unfortunate circumstance of being charged with armed robbery.
6'5". That is gargantuan.
This is in the state of Georgia, so if found guilty, they will render him the minimum term of 10 years without parole, up to the maximum term of life in prison. Jeff has been through the system multiple times over, and he will know that if indeed found guilty, his sentence will be considerably longer than the minimum 10 years due to his previous convictions.
Whoa.
Jeff, do you understand your rights? Yes or no? I'm not asking if you want to talk to me at this point. I just want to know, do you understand what I read to you?
So am I under arrest?
Yes, you're under arrest.
Get me back to the cell. I don't talk to you, motherfucker.
Okay.
He's based. Absolutely based.
Nope.
I'm pretty sure he only comes back in to talk to them to get the cans of Coke. I'm pretty sure.
You gonna be able to pop it open, or you need me to?
Jeff has become somewhat of a cult figure in the domain of interrogation footage. His recognition seems to have grown through his own popularity, as opposed to the notoriety of his crimes like most others. Conveying the exact reasoning behind this can be tricky, as the interest in this character will no doubt vary by the individual. Yet we've found the most collective reason can be explained through a single pop culture reference: the anti-hero.
Yes.
While the concept is timeless, the actual term was created through the realm of modern cinema. There's a diverse number of characters passing through the decades that fit the criteria. Yet perhaps the most textbook example could be the protagonist from the 2003 feature Bad Santa.
I love that movie. It's quality,
A
man.
middle-aged man simply known as Willie. This is a character that lies, cheats, steals, swears at children, drinks an inconceivable amount of alcohol, and is generally extremely unpleasant to every single person he comes across.
Look who's here, Jimmy. It's Santa.
Fucking right.
Let's go.
I'm on my fucking lunch break, okay?
On paper, this is an extremely unlikable individual, yet for some reason, we root for him while following his story. Anti-heroes are flawed, as are we. Their moral complexity mirrors our own, and just like us, they are learning and growing as they move along the path of life. Their mistakes make us think of our mistakes, and perhaps the reason we root for their redemption is the reflection of ourselves rooting for our own. So you might be curious about the contrast between the anti-hero and the villain. One we embrace and relate to, while the other we despise and detach from.
House is a good example of an anti-hero. You know, House MD.
Both are driven
Also, Walter White in Breaking Bad.
by selfish motivations, yet our emotional response differs between them. The reason for this, while not necessarily obvious, is a relatively simple formula. The anti-hero must have a glimmer of humanity alongside a noticeable vulnerability. This is what allows the viewer to truly connect with the character. It allows us to forgive them when they are unethical, but admire them when they are noble. It allows them to be angry, cowardly, and greedy, but also cheerful, brave, and empathetic.
Who the fuck is Thurman? Is that you? Is your name Thurman?
Yeah,
Thurman Merman?
yeah.
Jesus.
With relation to Jeff, while many of us can't relate to the feeling of being addicted to heroin for well over a decade, we
Oh, mate, I can. Not over a decade, probably over the space of 3-4 years. But wow, mate, I'll tell you what, that's a ride in and of itself.
can certainly understand the feeling of sadness. While we may not be able to put ourselves directly in the shoes of an addict, we can somewhat relate to the adversity that comes with it.
Bro, I was, I'm not showing off. I'm far from showing off. But I would put 3 bags of heroin and 3 or 4, well, usually 2 or 3 bags of crack cocaine in a spoon, heat it up, pull it up into the plunger, like get that rush of blood, slam it. Oh my word! I'll tell you what, half of the addiction was probably the ritual of it. You know, like the preparing of it, the needle fixation. Getting off of heroin was probably the hardest thing I've had to go through in my life, and I've been clean for years now. But I tell you what, like that drug grips you, and the withdrawals are horrendous. And I'm pretty sure Jeff is only talking to them so he can get a can of Coke to get even just the slightest bit of relief from his withdrawals.
Not to mention the incredible magnitude of the situation he is going through in this video.
You can see like he's quite animated. He can't sit still. So either he's like that anyway. That's just how he is. He fidgets a lot, or it's the withdrawals starting to kick in.
How he responds to this very moment is quite literally the precursor to his entire future. He is at a crossroad moment in life.
Yeah, he's cramped up. His guts are all over the place. When you withdraw from, so basically heroin constipates you, yeah, because it slows down your digestive system, yeah. and then when you start withdrawing, suddenly your bowels start moving, and it's so uncomfortable. I tell you what, he is withdrawing. He is withdrawing.
Where on one side is the possibility of hope, and on the other side is the outright guarantee of despair. The long-term path he goes down will be the consequences of the short-term choices he makes, all of which have to be judged and decided on while going through the early stages of heroin withdrawal.
Nasty.
I need methadone.
You need methadone?
They ain't gonna give you methadone for like shizzle. I need to stop saying swear words, so I was saying shizzle and flipping heck instead. But no, like, I'll tell you what though, if you're an alcoholic, I don't know what it's like in America, but if you're an alcoholic and you get arrested, they have to give you diazepam, Valium, every 3 hours just to stop you from having a seizure. And if you're prescribed methadone, or another opiate replacement therapy drug such as Suboxone, then in the UK, they have to give you 2 30-milligram tablets of dihydrocodeine every 3 hours alongside the diazepam, just to make sure that you're not going to go into serious withdrawal. So it's just interesting. I don't know if they do that in America or not. You ain't getting methadone for shit.
I mean, a prescription for it? What do you need methadone for?
I'm a fucking junkie, and you guys, I can't get no methadone. I'm gonna go through withdrawal here in a minute.
Where do you usually get your methadone from?
I get heroin.
How long you been using heroin?
Long time.
Oh, you can hear in his voice that he's had a serious addiction for a while. You can just hear it.
How long you been using heroin?
Long time. What are you trying to talk to me about here?
Talk to you about what happened last night. Look, here's the deal. Either you're in a bad set of circumstances, or you went and committed an armed robbery last night.
Yeah,
right?
I'm in a shitty, wrong place at wrong time, obviously. I didn't commit no fucking armed robbery.
All right, then let's talk about this. Let's
I don't
not
have
keep
nothing.
up
I
the
don't
act.
talk to the police, man.
I think it's in your
Because he ain't stupid.
best interest to.
How? I don't talk to
you're
the
sitting
police.
here. Okay.
I've been through the system, buddy. I know how
I know
it
you
works.
have. I know you have.
You're
Jeff.
not my friend.
I'm not your
You're
friend.
trying to fucking get me. Or you're
No,
trying
I'm not trying to get
all
you.
you're trying to get is some fucking stupid ass fucking confession, and you're not gonna get one.
Jeff, I'm not going to get a confession out of you for nothing.
Exactly, because I
And
didn't
I'm
do
not
nothing.
trying to get a confession out of you.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you, I didn't commit no armed robbery, and y'all ain't got no fucking evidence saying I did. Let me go. All you did is find me sitting in my buddy's house because my fucking buddy's dog's going ape shit. I go outside, there are cops everywhere, and they spotlight me. They say, "Come here." I say, "What's up?" They search me. They ain't
Hang
find
on.
nothing. What's
Let
up?
me read this.
No,
Yes.
because I'm not gonna sign it.
You don't have to sign it. But let me read it for you. Okay?
I'm not signing nothing.
You don't have to sign it.
Oh, he's serious. Sorry, I'm eating. I'm really unprofessional. He is really going through withdrawals now. You can see it, man. His toes are curled up. He's hunched over. Like, man, I feel for him, man. I know withdrawals are horrendous, mate. Honestly.
Let me read it.
You already read it to me earlier.
I know we did, but I'm going to read it to you again.
Thanks for the tip.
You're welcome.
See what I mean? Like he suddenly breaks his nonchalant, hard-headed character, and genuinely thanks a cop for the coke, because that coke is going to make some level of difference to his comfort levels.
Before we ask any questions, you must understand what your rights are. If you cannot afford a lawyer and want one, a lawyer will be provided for you. If you decide to answer questions now without a lawyer present, you will still have the right. You also have the right
That's another withdrawal symptom, is the snotty nose, runny nose.
for you. If you decide to answer questions now without a lawyer present, you will still have the right. You also have the right to stop answering at any time until you talk to the lawyer. Do you understand the rights I've explained to you? Huh? Okay. Tell me what happened last night. Plain and simple. Your side of the story.
I'm not talking to you.
All right. This is what I don't understand. I know, but this is what I don't understand, Jeff. You were sitting there talking just like you were ready to sit here and tell me what happened last night, and then all of a sudden I read that to you, and you screw it, I ain't talking to you. I don't like it. I don't understand that. What changed? Just in the,
Because I told you what, I already told you what happened.
you didn't.
How didn't I?
You didn't tell me what happened last night.
How didn't I just tell you what?
But now you've handcuffed me, and I can't talk to you because you asked for an attorney. So, okay, that's fine. But I will tell you right now, you're still on a hold for a robbery.
I know. I don't know why I need a fucking lawyer because obviously I didn't do nothing. And obviously you guys know I didn't do nothing because...
Do you know what, yeah? He's either really good at acting or I'm inclined to believe that he's... you know, like, he might have not done anything, you know? Like, well, he's done something, obviously. But, like, I feel like his body language and his tone of voice and that, he's being very assertive and accusational almost. Like, confrontational is a better word. That's how innocent people tend to react. But then again, he's been through the system and he's clearly not a stupid guy. He's just in the grips of heroin addiction. He probably feels a bit patronized by the police.
I know. I don't know why I need a fucking lawyer because obviously I didn't do nothing. And obviously you guys know I didn't do nothing because I've been arrested for the same bullshit before, and you guys don't interview me this much. So, wham bam, thank you for the coke. Put me back in the cell. What's that?
Oh, his guts are all over the place, man. You can tell, and he's fidgeting.
I know we did this twice, but I gotta do it again every time, okay? Before asking you questions, I gotta read your rights. You understand that? Okay. Sign there. Let me take the gift off.
Look, I'm not signing nothing.
Okay, you don't have to sign anything. You understand your rights there, right? That's all I need. A verbal yes? Yeah.
I think he's taking his cuffs off to try and build some level of rapport.
It's coming. You can get there on that. We'll be here about 2 minutes. Just watch the sewer sheet. Was good.
Mm-hmm.
I have enough evidence
Like what?
of the armed robbery, okay? But, you know, if you're saying you didn't do it, you need to give me your side of the story.
I didn't do it.
Okay, well, give me your side of the story. You gotta, convince me. Because I got a lot of evidence. I got a lot of physical evidence.
Well, like what? Name the
Well, I don't need to, why should I tell you that? I mean, you haven't been helpful to me at all.
They're treating him like he's fucking stupid, man. Sorry for cussing, but they're treating him like he's stupid, man. Like, they're being really patronizing. I don't know if he did this robbery or not. Yeah, it's very hard to tell, but, you know.
Because I don't believe that you got any evidence.
There's only a couple pieces of evidence I'm missing.
Oh, so maybe he did do it because him saying, I don't believe you've got any evidence, sort of suggests that he could believe they have evidence. Like there is the possibility of there being evidence. So maybe he did do it. You know.
I don't believe that you got any evidence.
Because you'd say if he was innocent, I know you've got no evidence because I haven't done it. So he kind of slipped up a little bit there. You slipped up, Jeff. Probably because your mind's racing with the withdrawals.
There's a couple pieces of evidence I'm missing.
Name them.
What's that?
Name them.
Why do I need to do that? You haven't helped me out at all. You give me a little bit, I give you a little bit. We go back and forth. I give you one of my pieces of evidence, now give me a little something.
No, anything I say here can and will be used against me.
Sure, but anything you say here, I can also tell your parole officer.
That's not going to do anything.
I mean, you did. There's no way. I didn't do it. There's no way.
How drunk were you? Were you drunk?
No, I was pretty sober.
So you're in your right mind. You remember everything about the night, right?
I like how he said pretty sober. Because probably he's on heroin all the time. So when he uses, it's probably just so he doesn't feel unwell. He probably doesn't get that much euphoria from it anymore, unless he does like a big shot of it. So when he says he was pretty sober, he was probably technically on heroin, but he was sober-minded because his body has got adjusted to functioning with heroin. Now he's probably quote-unquote less sober-minded because he's withdrawing, ironically.
So you couldn't have done something not remembered. You couldn't have gone and robbed the place and not remembered?
Fuck no.
Okay, so you would remember if you robbed the place. So I'm willing to go to the prosecutor. I'm willing to go to the parole officer.
He doesn't care.
This guy's a good guy. He helped me.
Hey.
I know you don't want to go back to jail, right? Back to prison.
Well, it looks like I am, and you're gonna charge me with some bogus shit. You guys don't. I mean, what do you got really? That I was at a buddy's house and I happened to come outside because you guys were fucking swarming the area and they
Which
fucking.
door did you come out of?
I came out of the front door. You know what? I'm not saying. I'm done, man. Fuck this. The only reason I came up here is to get a fucking coat.
You're not getting out.
I can't finish it.
I nearly choked on my tea. That is nice of the detective to let him finish the coconut.
I didn't promise you that. I said we'd see what happens.
he's trying to use the butterfinger to get a confession. He's clutching at straws, man. Like I bet you, Jeff, is like, man, I really want that butterfinger right now.
Like I said, you haven't helped me out at all. Why should I help you out? I got you a soda. Let's get it going.
Yeah, man, that's fair. That's
Jeff
fair.
was released from custody just under 12 hours later. And that takes us to the final and perhaps the most important component of an anti-hero, the conclusion, which unfortunately in this particular case is unknown. The final outcome of this story will vary depending on the source, some with a happy ending, others a cautionary tale. One legend has it that Jeff got clean soon after his release and now works in the corporate marketing team for Coca-Cola, while another states that he was picked up the day after for the same charge and is now facing down a 15-year sentence in Georgia State Prison. If we go by the Hollywood formula, an anti-hero's actions throughout the course of their life are so drastic and single-minded that they only ever lead to salvation or destruction, and their final decision is always dictated by what they have learned and how they have changed throughout the course of the story. The paradox here is that we don't even need the theme of imprisonment to mold the outcome of this particular story, as the theme of addiction is more than enough.
Yeah.
Whether he goes to prison or not, Jeff will either manage to get clean and rebuild his life, or he won't.
Like, to be honest with you, being in the thralls of addiction to a serious drug is like being in a prison in and of itself, to be honest with you. You're trapped, you're caged in, you're like desperate.
Prison or not, Jeff will either manage to get clean and rebuild his life, or he won't. He is headed for salvation or destruction no matter what. And that single concept can perhaps define Jeff as an anti-hero. His outcome is a mystery, but either way it goes, it most certainly conforms to the anti-hero's ending.
Right, you've been locked onto Everything Bite Size. That was a video from JCS Criminal Psychology. Go and check them out. You probably already know about them. Check out my shorts, check out my music videos, check out my other content like this, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.